Maybe if I would stop eating like a linebacker, more like a girl, I wouldn't be in this potato body predicament. What can I say? Hashtag I love tacos. Oh, I love the self-awareness in this. The hashtag I love tacos. If you're happy in the body that you're in, that's awesome. If you have a potato body, that's okay. Just make sure you also maintain healthy habits. Oh, I like this. Hey everyone! Before we get started today, I wanted to dive into why I like to cover the subreddit r/FatLogic. I know that in the FatLogic videos I've covered in the past, I usually add my personal stories, my thoughts, and opinions at the end of the video, but I realize that hasn't been helpful for people who have wanted to have that question answered first before diving into the rest of the video, maybe for context, maybe just to figure out where I'm coming from with this. When I was younger, I was an incredibly thin individual. I was dangerously thin. I was underweight for most of my life. When I got a little bit older and I was able to afford a lot of food, I really piled it on. I really ate as much as possible all the time because I was trying to address some of the weight issues that I had. When I was incredibly thin, I would look in the mirror and see nothing but a fat individual. And then when I gained weight, I felt really proud of myself that I was able to put that on. The issue that I had was that I put on too much weight. And I would still look at that and I'd say, no, it is on everyone else if they have a problem with this, it's not on me. And it got to the point where it became uncomfortable for me to even sit up in bed. I would really struggle to sit up in bed and roll over and shift out of bed. And I got to that point where I realized that I was making a lot of excuses for the changes I'd gone through, for the lack of effort I was putting into maintaining a fitness regimen, for a lot of things that I was making a lot of excuses that I didn't deserve to be able to make. I looked at this as more of a condition of mine, as something that I wasn't responsible for, that's something that I was completely disconnected from. And in point of fact, what was important was recognizing that I had a responsibility because I was able to change these things in my life. I didn't have a medical condition that forced me to gain weight. I actually have not the greatest metabolism, and I do need to manage my weight quite carefully, which is why because I am able to, force myself to go to the gym as often as I do because I need to manage my weight, I need to maintain it. Eating a regular amount and getting an average amount of exercise will mean that I actually will become overweight over time. That's just how my body is, I accept that. But diving into r/FatLogic reminds me the issues that I had when I was younger, diving into this. And after putting out my very first FatLogic video where I talked a little bit about my past and my experiences, I saw so many positive comments about individuals who said, I like to listen to these or I like to watch these when I go to the gym. It gives me motivation, it gets me going. And so I wanted to start out this video by reading through some of the comments, and then we'll dive into some of the memes. Dude, you and your positivity motivates me to get up and try every day. Oh, thank you so much for just being you. I freaking love you, bro. Well, I love you, Captain Blue. That's why I'm making these videos. That's why I make them. I try to be as positive as I can, but when someone is being illogical, when someone is being detrimental to society, I have a real issue with that, and I try to poke fun where I can. And I realize the jokes are not for everyone, and the humor is not for everyone, but I do what I can to talk about my experiences and how they relate to this subject. Megan, I've gained over 100 pounds in the past 3 years. I am now starting with what I eat and drink and doing a minimum of 6,000 steps to start. Thank you for being so encouraging as it has helped me. You rock, Megan. Not everyone is able to make those steps. Not everyone's weight gain is in relation to their exercise, and I recognize that. Some people have medical conditions. My issue is with people who claim a right to be able to state that they have a condition when they do not have a condition, when they approach things illogically, when they should be approaching things logically. So I appreciate that you find these videos motivating. I just finished up my short morning workout and then watched this. Now I'm getting back to do some extra reps before I have to start work. Thanks for being my motivation, OneTopic. Aw. Y'all, I just lost my first 30 pounds. You? Rockstar. If that's your target, you go get it. Good for you. Respect a thick bicha, but take care of yourself. Jesus! Oh, it got a little hurt from me. I read through as many comments as I can. I even go back through older videos just to check in on things. I was in a bit of sorts after putting out this video. I recognized it as having one of the highest number of dislikes on videos on my channel, and I realized it was because it was a longer video without much explanation at the beginning. But even though there are 100 dislikes, there are 3,000 likes. If the individuals who feel that this video is not positive, please scroll through the comments and see the other individuals who are sharing their stories, who are sharing their goals, who are able to push forwards to achieve what they need and what they want, and what makes them happy. This video is for them. Real body positivity, real health at every size, is loving your body and taking care of it by eating healthy and having healthy habits. It's not making fun of skinny mini or glorifying 400 pounds as some beauty standard. That's bad for your heart. And yet, both ends of the spectrum, being too thin or being too heavy, can be bad for your internal organs, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, your brain. All of these can be affected by what you eat or what you don't eat. It's the people that ignore this fact and try to claim that they are right at all times. Those are the ones that bother me, and I try to focus on those individuals in the memes. I really hate how these people vilify skinny people. I used to be underweight as a kid, and though I ate big and balanced meals, it took puberty for me to reach a healthy weight. People don't get that being skinny makes people insecure too. I had a phase of overeating because a girl asked me if I was anorexic. I relate to this quite a bit. I've had body issues my entire life, and even now that I go to the gym as often as I do, if I skip a single workout, I immediately feel it. If I eat a treat or a dessert item, I immediately feel it. It hits me pretty hard. It's something that I'm still working on. And diving into these, and even seeing the comments on these videos, it still helps me. Thin, average, thick, larger than average. Okay, you're healthy. You don't have to conform to what others think. Diabetes, obesity, not okay. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. Don't be, quote, body positive. No, it's not good for it's not for your own good. Yeah, there are limits. If you're on the heavier side or huskier side, or you have extra pounds, you have extra weight, you have curves, you're thick, you rock. As long as you're happy, you do you. My problem is when it strays to such an extreme that you become unhealthy, that you become a hazard for those around you. I'm currently on a weight gain journey. I didn't eat a lot since I'm on medication, and that makes me have a bad appetite. I was 35 pounds underweight. I am currently trying to gain weight by working out and gaining some muscle. I'm currently 25 pounds closer to a good weight range for my height. Just 10 more and I won't be in the anorexic range. Oh, Florence, you rock! You gained that weight. If that's your goal, to gain weight, if your goal is to lose weight, talk to your doctor, talk to a dietitian, plan out a healthy arrangement for yourself. You do you. That's awesome. If that's what's going to make you happy, I hope you achieve it. Sometimes people have diabetes that leads to being fat. For example, hypothyroidism. That hacks up your metabolism. You get demotivated and depressed, so it's hard to do stuff for your weight. Yeehaw. Exactly. When people choose to be heavier and choose not to take care of themselves, it is absolutely different from those who are not able to lose the weight, who are actually affected by medical conditions. Some people don't have the luxury of being able to get out and walk around the block. Some people don't have the luxury of being able to do jumping jacks or run around or participate in fitness-focused activities. And it's on the rest of us to maintain a healthy diet, to maintain a healthy average for ourselves, to make sure that we're not burdening our healthcare system with those who are unnecessarily overweight and dealing with those kind of medical issues, so that the individuals who are actually going through real issues can have the care that they deserve. As someone with PCOS, a hormone disorder that affects my insulin, and an eating disorder, I completely agree with OneTopic's view on this topic. Your health comes first. Even if it is hard to lose weight or maintain a diet, give it your best and do what is best for you. Caitlin, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, not everyone has to agree with me. I realize I have a little bit of a harder stance than people might expect. There is so much positivity on this channel. There's so much love that I have for all of you. Some people expect me to approach every single individual I encounter with exactly the same positivity. But much like how I approach anti-vaxxers, any of those who absolutely deserve to be on FatLogic, I approach differently. That does not mean I approach everyone who doesn't get vaccinated the same way. It also doesn't mean that I approach everyone who is overweight or heavier the same way. Some people cannot get vaccinated. Some people cannot lose all of the weight. Some people choose not to get vaccinated. Some people choose not to lose weight. See, there's a big difference. There is a difference between these two approaches. OneTopic gave me somehow the motivation to finally move my butt and to try to exercise more, since I'm not doing anything, studying 3D animation, always sitting behind a computer. Since a couple months, I've seen my belly getting a little more fat than before, and I don't want to get to the point where I can hardly take care of myself. Oh, that I can hardly take care of it. Still need to figure out what I can do for my diet that is getting really small over time and bad. Really, thank you. I'm not sure what would have really motivated me for once. Hearing you being supportive and cheering for folks over their effort gave me some motivation. Even if I don't like exercising, I believe in giving it a shot. It's better than anything. Yes! It's better than nothing. If you are in school or if you are in a job that's quite sedentary, it is incredibly difficult to get the motivation to get up and moving, to actually have the time to get out and move as well. My goodness, if you're in an office job and you require a long commute to get there, you could get up out of bed, take a few steps to prepare for the day, get dressed, have a shower. You could take a few steps to your car, a few steps to transit, get to the office, sit down, do that the entire day, get incredibly tired because you're mentally drained, go home and just either sit on the couch or go straight to bed. No exercise. That is a dangerous scenario in which you could end up gaining a lot of weight or finding other health issues. I feel you. I have 100% been there. And this is exactly why I cover this subreddit. It's just recognizing those small changes that you can do over time that will help you in the long run, while also recognizing that some people approach this in a silly way. Just saying. How is it that someone can seem so empathetic about other things, but totally get into bashing people who are reasonably defensive about their weight in a society that regularly degrades them? Imagine having depression and/or anxiety, and being fat on top of it. Imagine going to the doctor with an unrelated concern and barely having time to address it because he's focused on your weight. I can't help but think things like this exist just to make people who already feel bad or worse about themselves. I wanted to include this comment because it's exactly not the way that I want to address things, and I hope that people largely don't get that impression when I address this in other videos. These are not meant to mock people, unless they're ridiculous people. These are not meant to mock all heavy people. But here's the thing, fam. You don't need to be fat to have fat logic, and you don't need to be skinny to be healthy. But you do need to take care of yourself. Whatever that healthy lifestyle is for you and your body is different between every person. It doesn't mean that you have to be thin. It doesn't mean you have to be athletic or super muscular. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym every day. It just means you need to be healthy for yourself. All right, we read a lot of comments. I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't want to go on for too long. Let's go to the memes. All right, let's get started on the memes.
I know everyone in this group sings the praises of Blue Swimming Pool at Riverside, but I cannot keep to myself the awful service I received the other day. I took my nieces swimming there, and one of the staff said we'd be more comfortable in the family changing rooms as she walked us out of the women's and showed us where to go. It wasn't just for families, it was also marked disabled. Because of course you have to assume the 400-pound lady is disabled, right? To be even more rude, when we were leaving, the man at the desk asked if I wanted to join their Aqua Fitness group for a discount price. Why assume a person my size is unfit and needs to exercise? I complain with management, but I want to take it to the council for discrimination. Has anyone ever done that? I hope no one's done that. I don't think you've earned your spot to complain about this. You're mad that a pool who specializes in providing pool-related activities offered you a pool-related activity, a classic upsell that everyone employed by any organization is taught how to do. You're also saying that a specific larger stall that is meant for parents and their kids to be able to go to is also the same stall that's set aside for individuals who need more room for a chair or other walking implements or assistive devices or individuals to help them. It's a group room that's also accessible for the handicapped. How dare you to think you're too good to go in there? How flippin' dare you? You absolute jerk. Huh. And this is why we dive into r/FatLogic. Diet culture's greatest trick was convincing the world that it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. This is a rough reference to the Bible? The devil's greatest trick was convincing the world didn't exist. So, I mean, they're playing off of known comparisons. I see the undertones here. A lifestyle change can be better than a diet change. What people focus on is the difference between dieting and having a healthy diet. If you're dieting, you could be cutting out everything but vegetables and honey water or something. If you have a healthy diet, you could be just reducing the number of burgers you eat. It doesn't mean like no Big Macs, it just means like fewer Big Macs. It doesn't mean no cake, it just means less cake. See, healthy diet, dieting, different things. But it can also be a lifestyle change. Instead of, as I mentioned, driving to work every day, we could try transit. We could try jogging to the bus stop, jogging to the train station, jogging afterwards to get to the office. It could mean packing a spare pack of clothes the night before, and if there's a gym nearby your office, going there at lunch, going there after work. If there's no gym nearby and your office has some stairs, use the stairs. If you're not in an office, take a walk around the block every day. Get your body moving a bit. And a bit by bit, you can increase those changes. Dear skinny cis women and muscly cis men in the fitness industry who think your body is your business card, we're coming for your jobs. Hashtag sorry not sorry.
This one I have a bit of an issue with. Being cis is not a bad thing. It's not a slur. It's not something we should hold against people. I'm a straight dude. I enjoy fitness. I go to the gym. You can't have my job. Why would you want it? Don't come for my job. Also, please don't make people targets of how you feel about things. My goodness. They've achieved something that they feel is important to them, and they want to sell that importance to other people that also want to achieve it. That doesn't mean everyone has to be a gigantically ripped, muscular individual. It's like, my goodness, look at how big those abs are. That's crazy.
You say healthier is better. That's a moral statement, and you're also conflating health and thinness. Check out the research behind health at every size. Hashtag Haze.
It is no different than it is always healthier being a non-smoker than a smoker. No evidence disproves this, and all evidence supports it. Yeah, healthier is better. What? Okay, I think you're confused. I think you're saying that someone may have mentioned that being thinner is healthier, thus healthier is better. I think that may have been the root of your argument there, but just saying, like, healthier is not necessarily better, that's silly. Being unhealthy is not better. Sugar can be the willpower you need to undereat. No. I used to see things like this. I used to see things like this in university when I was studying healthcare. This is, my goodness. When you're hungry, it usually means your energy's down. Yeah, this used to be a thing. How far we've come. The sugar industry has literally permeated every food item possible. Ketchup, sugar. Pickles? I don't know how much sugar is in pickles, but I assume a lot. There's so much sugar in everything that we consume. It's incredibly difficult to get away from it. Milk? Sugar. Cereal? Nothing but sugar! Being healthy and eating healthy is incredibly challenging. And I'm not saying you're worth less just because you don't have the opportunities to eat as much healthy food as you would like. I'm just saying making the effort is definitely worthwhile, both in the short term and in the long term.
Hi, here's your regular reminder that most fat people aren't fat because we eat more than thin people. That's not actually how it works.
I've read a lot of comments on the previous videos about how calories in, calories out is not what you need to focus on, and then they give a long-winded explanation of what you need to focus on. I've said multiple times that a great starting point for anyone who's looking at researching this subject and how to be more healthy, a great starting point is the calories in, calories out measurement of food. It's not all you need to know, and there's a lot of layers to learning how to lose weight, but it is a great starting point, and I think it might actually help this person out. Because, sure, if you eat, like, if you eat 10 heads of lettuce, that's a ton of food. But it's not as many calories as a bunch of cupcakes. The cupcakes themselves could be smaller than the heads of lettuce. So yes, you could eat less and gain more weight, but it's not the amount of food, it's the quality of the food. Does that make sense? And back to the basic statement, calories in, calories out. A great jumping off point. Please do more research after that, but it's a great starting point.
God is fat, and she twerks marvelously. And you know what? You don't heckin' know if she has diabetes, and it's none of your hecking business. She's glorious either way.
Oh, there's so many layers to this. I don't know if I want to tackle this one, but I like the little heart at the top that also says no on it. I think jumping through this many hoops probably shows you're not on the right track. I'm gonna say that. But, that being said, there's no reason why God can't be a glorious woman shaking her hips. Here's the thing, though. I don't think God's either dude or lady. Either a mix of both or neither. That's just from my stance. What did that dude from PragerU say? God transcends gender? Yeah, pretty much. And if God wants to twerk, that's awesome. But God also doesn't need to run on a treadmill. So, like, we're human. We need to accept that we have our limits and try to work within them.
I learned that IDGAF, what kind of body folks used to live in. Mostly this is for expats.
Oh, no.
If you don't currently share my experience, you need to watch out for the ways you benefit from thin privilege now and just be an ally. So many folks who lose weight don't hear this.
Oh, my goodness. How many people's groups are you trying to co-opt with this statement? So here's my experience with quote-unquote thin privilege. At restaurants, I would often get better service as being a healthier-sized individual than being an overweight-sized individual. Part of that was my attitude. I had a FatLogic attitude, and that was not great. But the other part of that was just that there is bias out there, and that's tricky to deal with. But that doesn't mean it's everyone else's responsibility to cater to you. Oh, and there's another comment.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm really tired of the crowd of, I lost weight, but since I was fat before, I can fat-splain to you.
Oh, I'm learning new words.
Fat-splain to you about your experiences. You can tell me about your past experiences, but you're now exempt from the same stigma.
Okay. Any teachable moment requires at least some knowledge of how to progress from state A to state B. And if this person is providing information of their travel from state A to state B, doesn't mean that you get to ignore them. Rude. Gyms are temples of body hatred and negativity. Almost all women who go to the gym are reinforcing patriarchal norms by making their bodies appealing to the male gaze. We need to embrace body positivity and fat acceptance in 2020. All bodies are beautiful. Nope. Not everyone needs to find it beautiful. Yeah, people have their own preferences. Not everyone needs to find everyone else beautiful, and some people that go to the gym have a preference for themselves and their own body, not reinforced by other individuals, but for themselves recognizing that a certain body type would be better to achieve certain goals. If someone wants to run Tough Mudder, it's a great idea to go to the gym first. My goodness. So they're achieving a goal of passing through a physical exam by getting in shape and going to the gym. And you want to judge that? Fam, no. For me, I like running. I hate running, but I like what I can do with running. I can play paintball. I can enjoy a nice jog with a friend. I can do other cardio-related activities, like swimming, which I find a lot easier because of how much time I spend at the gym. It also helps me combat the effects of asthma, which is actually incredibly bad for me. If I run and it's cold, my asthma flares up immediately. If I go to the gym and I train for quite a while, I actually do better in the cold. I do better around animals. I love animals, but my windpipes close up because of asthma, and it's bad. But the more that I run, the more that I exercise, the better it gets. It's not like I'm going to cure myself, but it's what I can do to manage the condition that I have.
On Facebook, there was a video of a cat that was overweight. You should have seen the comments. They reminded me of what people say to fat people, except they were even worse. It's rough because with pets, I'm not sure the same narrative applies. Does #Haze apply to cats and dogs?
Animals as companions are important. Providing an animal its natural requirement of exercise is better than just having the companion sit at your feet all day. This becomes an increased issue with the elderly who can't run around as much as an animal would need, but still needs that companionship. An animal can become quite overweight very easily if no one is out walking it or giving it a run, taking it to play outside. It can be very easy for an animal to fall into bad habits that mirror the owner's habits as well, even though they aren't bad for the owner because they might not have that physical ability. Health at every size for animals, my goodness. There are healthy sizes for animals, including people. They do differ between the animals. They do differ between people. But overweight animals that then lose the weight, you rock. And there is a concern of maintaining an animal at an unhealthy weight. Anyways, sometimes there's layers to why an animal is overweight. Don't judge too harshly, don't judge too quickly. You know, spread some positivity out there, but definitely keep aware of how you are affecting a situation.
Update. Calling your thrifted champion crewneck oversized is fat-phobic. It's not oversized, it's just not your size.
There's a great message that was spread around at a thrift store that's near me. And that's, if you're shopping for clothes, please don't try to purchase too many oversized clothes or larger sized clothes that don't necessarily fit you. While you may like the baggy look, there are a lot of larger people who also want to shop for clothes that fit them, and it's harder for them to find clothes. And I thought that was a really good message. You know, even if you're really large, you can still want to buy a suit, want to buy a jumpsuit, want to buy a spacesuit, and have it fit you appropriately. And watching people walk away with big baggy clothes that don't necessarily fit them, yeah, that kind of sucks. That would irk me too. If I was 9 feet tall and I saw someone who just wanted really, really baggy pants, walk out with pants that fit me and not them, I'd be like, ah! Real frustrated. So I kind of get where you're coming from. But also, it's fine to say oversized. That's not fat phobic. Oversized is just not your size. I feel like you're cutting down your own point. Correct. It is over their size. Thus, it is oversized. Obesity can happen from eating too little, and it is solely not caused by eating too much. The whole post is extremely fatphobic and disgusting.
No, it's not a claim of science, sweetie. Obesity doesn't exist. But I know you doctors love to put people into categories based off of bullshit BMIs.
If it's science, it shouldn't be hard for you to find literature to back it up. Obesity doesn't exist? What are you talking about?
I think education is desperately needed for you. Sorry, honey. Science doesn't support fat phobics and it never will. Ugh, obesity doctors are a waste of time. If you care which, you won't actually look into the weight of inclusive medicine and haze.
So, you don't have any literature to back up your claim. Got it. Bit of a backstory there, the blue individual is an obesity specialist MD. Have you watched My 600-Pound Life? You know Dr. Now? I used to really, really enjoy watching Britain's Biggest Loser and and equivalent shows to My 600-Pound Life when I was going through my weight loss transition. I realized that there's a lot of information behind the scenes that make you aware that perhaps these are not the healthiest of approaches that are recommended in, say, the Biggest Loser shows. There's a lot of hard work and a lot of extraneous work that goes into those fitness routines and exercises to help people get back on track. In the My 600-Pound Life, really good advice is given by Dr. Now to help people recover from the situations that they found themselves in. And it's not from a place of hate. It's not from a place of misunderstanding. It's a place of hope for your future. My Beardos, my Weirdos, I love all of you so much, and I just want all of you to feel positive about the day and about yourselves, but also recognize that if there are places that you can improve, that you also take those steps. It is hard. It was difficult for me, but I know you can get there if you want to. I had other memes and stuff to go through, but I think I'm going to end it there. I really appreciate you joining me on this video. I know it's a little bit different from the other FatLogic videos in which I put some of my stories and experiences up front. I didn't talk as long on them as I have in other videos, so you might want to go and watch the other FatLogic videos, but I think it's a good brief introduction to where I'm coming from, in which I have described myself before as being a previous chubby tubby flubby boy, and, and I was also dangerously thin as well. And I've seen things from two ends of the spectrum, and I find it very difficult to meet myself in the middle and to keep myself at a healthy weight and also view myself in a healthy way. But while I struggle with that, that's something that I hope none of you have to struggle with. And if you are, then I'm going to make these videos, and even if you dislike them, there's someone out there who's going to like them, who's going to appreciate them, and who's going to find them very helpful. And I make these videos because I care about all of you, not because I want to laugh or poke fun at a specific group. Unless that specific group is illogical people, and then I will poke fun at them all day. My Beardos, my Weirdos, I love all of you. We'll see you in the next video, where we take it one topic at a time.
Roll it, outro!